Hello and welcome to PKR TV, the destination of choice for the discerning poker fan. Tournament poker is all about the thrill of victory and more often than not, the anguish of defeat. Whatever the buy-in, whether it's $250 or just two, every final table is the conclusion of a bruising war at the felt. This week's battle of $55 Primetime Super Deep Stack took place on the 30th of March and all eyes will be on former PKR Masters champion Infrashall. Just 10 players remain as we pick up the action, and joining me to find out which one prevails is Team Pro Scott Shelley. Well, PKR Social London champion Infrashall, All-Star Masters winner. And we've got Saga 10, a name I've come across before, whose record we shall dissect shortly.
Rings a bell with me too.
Yeah, one other I recognise, the rest no. And so we shall have to have a look at them, see what we've got. Of course, this is the final table of the Primetime Super Deep Stack. Are we going to see the result of that super deep stack structure, or is it going to be much like everything else, kind of fast and furious at the end? Let's have a look.
Okay, but he's flopped a flush with the 10-3 of clubs. Don't know how he got into this pot.
No.
But this gentleman here's going to have a bit of trouble with top.
Yeah, but he's got 600 behind. Question is, play it fast.
But he's got 1.2.
Oh,
think we found out how he got them.
Okay, well, it's get it in or not now.
You can't blame him for that.
No.
For like stacking off here.
Indeed. The problem is you're never going to be miles ahead except for like King Queen with no club. I can understand if you're at a final table where you've played with most of this lot already and you know that you can steal enough blinds and antes that you can let this go. I can.
For sure.
But what are the blinds? I mean, if you've only got 15, 20 bigs here, then get it in. Surely.
I'm trying to remember what the blinds were. I don't think they were that. I think.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
And here's the turn card.
Well.
Oh,
wow.
Let's
Oh!
Oh my days. Poor old Bertel.
Oh, wow. And he had like 35 bigs behind.
Well, yeah, that was somewhat of a curious hand. 8 and 16 the blinds are. So what's the chip he got? He's got 80 bigs, 70, 80 bigs. So there's definitely some play at this final table. And, well, who's the most experienced? Lie Bin, 250 final tables, and Infrashall, 208 final tables. Between them, they have 60 wins. Obviously, the Masters being the most spectacular. Infrashall in August 2010 picked up 30K.
Beautiful stuff.
Yes, indeed. Lie Bin's best result, actually, $2,119 for an Oktoberfest Limit Hold'em win.
Wow.
What a hero. That was in 2008. Did they even have poker back then? Unbelievable. First here is 3,188. So a lot of this lot could book their lifetime best on PKR. Here we go. Swiss. Heinz und Edith. What a great name. Opens with jacks. Saga 10. Winner of the Grand Prix for 2,200, but obviously looking for his best results so far here. Simple get it in here. I know it's early on the final table, but can you be passing up this opportunity?
Nah, I don't think so. You got about 30-odd bigs. Jacks is definitely a ship it in spot.
Okay, I'm all in.
And we're off to the races.
Yeah. Saga's got a huge stack and could make it even bigger. This is a big, big pot, actually, if Saga wins it.
There it is.
Okay, and here's the river.
Yeah, boom. And that is, what, chip leader by
just
quite some
just
distance.
Like 120 bigs, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Looking at the rest of this bunch, Danny Morley, PKR Open champion, but that was his best result, $2,100. It's got a bunch of other stuff. second in the Prestige, winner of another Open and a Grand Prix. So some nice form there, and a Monte Carlo. So keep an eye on him. Yue Baba, he has got a prime time win. So going for a prime time double here. And here he is on the small. Limps it. All right. These guys are fairly deep, 30 bigs each. Woo! Limp shove with the pocket threes. He's run into a monster, but flopped a monster.
Got a fade of 10.
Yeah,
This is the river.
no 10. Big pot and an interesting line there. But then again, you know, it's
I don't mind it.
you know, I don't mind it either. Everyone wants to win this one. I mean,
I think he maybe had a bit too much to do it.
right.
Maybe with like 20, 25 bigs, but when you're going over 30 bigs, it's quite a big ship when the guy raises from the big.
Yeah. 10 bigs, beautiful spot to pick up ace king.
Yeah.
He'll want some action here. Well, he's got some. You know what? It's not life-changing money between 10th and 1st, but obviously 3K's a nice win. So I think they'll all be looking at first.
Yep. they'll
So
be
there
playing for the win.
shouldn't really be any fear here at this final table.
No, and so far we've seen there isn't.
Yeah,
That ace queen hand was sick.
yeah. Very sick indeed. Uebar can't think about the sixes. What's he? Well, he's got 10 bigs, but obviously a better spot to be getting it in than that.
Presume that's not the Watsy, I know.
Here comes the flush.
Imagine-
Well, the jacks has got the flush draw.
Okay, and here's
Spade
the
or a
river.
jack?
Fix it, nah,
No, and
Double up.
yeah, that's that. Oh, well, Danny Morley actually could easily afford that.
You
Well, we have lost one, and that was Heinz and Edith, 10th place for 191. 9-way here. Players from Russia, Canada, Greece, Germany, Finland. And here's the Canadian. Danny Morley, who I said earlier has won a bunch of PKR's top tournaments. Gets out of the way. Saga got some experience and a monster chip lead. Decides this is not the time to apply pressure. And Watsy with 10 bigs. Well,
Oh, he's under it here though. Really unfortunate.
Call.
yeah, Brit on Brit. He's very unlucky there.
He's got no outs. Oh, he's got chop outs.
This
Yeah,
is
I was
the
trying to figure
river.
out where the chop outs were.
I just know there's no one at the diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, well, one player at this final table winless on PKR, and that's Acid Burn. But actually, that's the player with the least number of tournaments played, so no harm there, I guess. But maybe this will be that one time he's been looking for.
It's a pretty big raise by old Bertie here.
Ooh, Bertel, winner of a Monte Carlo earlier this year, actually, for 1800. So,
4.5x with the queens.
way to lose your customer, possibly.
Hey, I don't want no one to play this pot.
What I'm trying to, I'm trying to figure out what nationality he is based on your impression.
No, he's actually British.
Right, okay.
But it was just like,
You just fancied it
I just always do a little sort of accent when I'm
when you're.
impersonating
yeah,
a poker player.
Okay. Monster Chippy. Rightly so. There's no point in just wasting chips when you're still virtually full ring.
Mm.
Bertel.
See if he goes with the old 85k again. No, that's
2.5. They are.
that's weird.
Hmm.
Fold.
Cool.
Jacks.
Pretty odd too.
Very conservative. And allowing the
I
big
mean,
blind to
The
come
ace,
in.
the ace queen open was actually standard, which was odd to me just because he made it 85k with queens like
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
while
yeah.
ago. But the jack should have always been shoving here. They've got like 20 bigs. Such an easy shove.
What's the downside to calling there?
He's gonna get outplayed a bunch of the time.
And outflopped a bunch of the time when otherwise it's
I mean, you
better
got
just to...
You got 3 cards you don't want to
Give
see
him
on the
check.
flop generally. First of all, ace king or queen. And even if they do come, your opponent's not necessarily going to have any of that.
Yeah.
Your opponent could be drawing semi-dead on the flop and still be able to take it off you.
Yeah, and the question is, if you play it like that, what situation are you going to encounter where you get it in and are ahead on the flop? You've got to be, apart from jacks, obviously.
Yeah.
Then you've got to have that small percentage of the time when your opponent's happy to get it in on a 10 high flop or less, pretty much. That just is not going to happen very often, is it?
Very small percentage of hands that are going to have that or do that with.
Okay, new hand.
Fold.
Well, we've seen nothing of the one of the most famous German players on PKR, Infrashaw.
Fold.
I fold.
Hasn't been back in the winner's enclosure, certainly, well, this year. He has a Sunday high roller win
All in.
worth
Oh.
3.5k as well, but
Unfortunate for here, Libin only had 8 bigs with ace 10.
Here's the flop, everyone.
yeah, he's going to need some help. Well, there's
Found a bit more.
yeah, a 9 or an
Here
ace
comes
would
the
do
river.
it.
That's not going to be.
No, and he certainly seems to get deep some and make appearance in cash game TV tables too, but today was not his day. And 7-way,
New hand.
Libin picks up $383, but we're going to have to get to the top 3 for a 4-figure score. 7 left, chip leader, suited connectors.
Fold.
Very disciplined, this guy.
Yeah, it's. I think it's more of a case he just doesn't want to give away any chips and double anyone up. I mean, there's a lot of stacks that are going to be They've got a lot
Right.
of stack sizes that are going to be shipping to an
Oh.
open. Like, for example, here, the 6s and the ace 10 are both hands that would have shipped. if
Yeah,
he'd
I
opened.
mean, the way he's playing, it looks like it's extremely difficult for him not to finish in the top 2, which is,
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
it's
for
kind
sure.
of the right way to
He's
go
got-
right now.
He's got to be a lock to finish top 2.
Yeah.
Infrashow in big trouble here.
Yeah, I'd like to see a 6 just because I know he's got a lot of moves and a lot of game, but no.
Yeah, nice guy too.
Yeah, Master Champ out in 7th for $510. 6 remaining. 1 or 2 we haven't seen much of so far. Placked UK. Or Plaktuk, depending on your view of things. He's Russian, so actually it's probably Plaktuk.
Yeah, that makes a bunch
Fold.
more sense.
Yeah. All right. 12.5 and 25k the blinds. A limp from Bertel with the King Queen suited. We've already seen a limp raise from him with the pocket 3s, right?
And unless I was going to say if the queen's didn't show up there, he might have.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Oh.
see the flop.
Oh, Plaktuk played one,
Here's
Lost
the
one.
river.
Played one, lost one, had one out.
What? No, he had no outs. The other guy had King Queen.
Oh yeah.
So little
Yeah.
did he know he was
After
dead
the flop, he was
on the flop.
dead to a misdeal.
But he's still in there. He's got 10 bigs. That's some hope.
It's a lot more hope than no hope.
Mm. Chippy's still.
I mean, he's not folding hands that he should always be opening.
No, indeed.
I mean, like suited connectors and stuff, they could be opening, but they've like the stack
Yeah.
sizes against him are just hands though, stacks that are going to be shoving in.
and he's certainly got such that he's not. I mean, he doesn't want to start blinding his way down to
No.
below like 2 million without using that.
Let's have the turn card.
Black took in a great shape here.
And here's
Gets the double
river.
needed.
Yeah, that's right. And short stack on short stack. Well, Danny wasn't too short, but now he's at the raw end of things.
Okay,
I
new
suspect, though,
hand.
looking at his fairly impressive resume, that he's going to know what to do. Plaktuk on a little bit of a roll.
Raise.
Makes it 62.5.
Fold.
Oops, that roll has just hit a brick wall.
Jesus.
Oh, and patience rewarded. What's that? This isn't going to
Oh, I
now.
love he flat called.
Oh,
Love it.
See the flop.
Absolutely in love with that flat call.
right, I mean, we can see.
Has ace king flopped a flush draw?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to hate the fact he flat called now, but it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, I do wonder if, obviously.
I like the flat call just because of the stat sizes behind.
Okay.
Like a bunch of people could shove.
Right.
All in.
Your free bet looks super strong when you free bet.
Here's
Strike
the
call.
turn.
No,
Here
they got it in.
goes.
Oh, he's been
Wow.
outdrawn. He's been outdrawn. Oh,
It's so sick for him.
yeah, that's
And
kind
the
of
run
sick.
did continue for flat.
Yeah, how sick is that though? He'd now have 3 million
Yeah.
with 5 left. if that diamond hadn't come. But
Okay,
obviously,
new
still, he
hand.
can't. You know what? If there's ever a time to get it cracked, it's when that leaves you still with a dominating chip lead.
Yeah, when you still got over 2 million left, you're not going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to think,
Fold.
well, I guess it's good it came here.
And Plaktuk's going to think, having just been the short stack with 6 left, that he's blessed now. He's the Chelsea of the situation. He's on his way.
So here we go.
Well, Uebar.
Cool.
Here's the flop.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is going to be a succession of setups.
Platic again looks like he's about to go out the door, but might find something.
Yeah, and actually, these two are fairly stacked.
Bets.
89. Raise here would allow. Yeah, there we go. And, well, he's only got 558 behind. We can see his opponent. You would never call here, presumably.
No.
Just get it in. Well, he's got 9s and queens. And whatever. Wow. Could he be thinking of passing
Let's
here?
have
No,
the
he does
turn
not.
card.
9s, queens, and jacks are all
Tens.
good. 10s
Here
too.
comes the river.
No. There we go.
Plat took down to 20k, less than a big blind.
Wow, that is
After being up to 800.
Yeah. I suppose you could ask the question. You're kind of short-handed now. Should you be 3-betting with King Queen of Hearts? Partly because you just don't want to be giving your opponents, if they're opening wide, the kind of initiative, and you're going to miss a lot of flops with King Queen of Hearts.
I mean, you are, but playing it in position heads up, you got a hand that flops really well, and then a lot of the time
But
you
he
might-
was out of position there.
was he not?
King Queen of Hearts was was one of the blinds.
But wasn't the small blind to big blind? No.
No,
might be
no,
wrong.
it was the button. I
Okay,
believe it
fair
was the
enough.
button who
Then
was
yeah,
King 5. I
then-
think you should be.
Then maybe a free bet's probably.
comes the
I mean,
river.
I wouldn't say it's a terrible call.
Yeah.
We
Well,
just lost 2.
oh yeah, a couple of shorties getting it in there. Danny Morley
Yeah.
had a little bit more. 10's holding, and there we go, straight out the door. 6th pace, 5th equal apparently, but I'm reliably informed that they didn't get the same money. Plaktuk $638, and Danny Morley won't be adding to his record. $765. Now getting some decent money. This was what? $55 buy-in. 255 runners.
I'm all in.
Fold.
Acid burn. We've seen but one hand from the player who is the only one yet to win a tournament on PKR. Gonna need to spike a
Here's the
2.
flop.
And does.
Ooh.
Oh,
So then.
Oh dear.
that's.
Having done all the hard work to see it taken away from you, heartbreaking. And a 4th place of $956 will eventually make up for that, but not for the next few hours. And that leaves 3. No surprise to see Saga 10. Can he close it out? Saga 10, 8 wins, more than the other 2 combined. 78 final tables, same story.
Here comes the flop.
Well, the King 8's got the momentum and has outflopped
I bet.
his opponent.
And here's the turn card.
Wow, float out of position with an ace-7. A lot of cards he can hit to keep him interested, I suppose. But the pot's now getting fairly big.
Yeah, and it's a sort of board texture that I wouldn't advise floating on, just because it's just so wet and there's just so many bad turn cards. I mean, it's obviously cards you can rep,
Right.
but you got like no equity yourself.
He check shoves, and it just might work. It's kind of like the right size. 700Ks can't just be cooled off with second
No.
pair that easy.
But what do they have?
True that. Call, flop, check, shove, turn. Normally that would
Yeah, I'm
suggest
glad
strength.
he called.
Wow, he calls it.
I'm glad he did.
Great call.
Yeah, it's a call for me, I think. Just didn't make sense. It was like he might have picked up a draw on a turn. Like a club draw of some sort, but
Right
he didn't.
then, new hand.
If you've flopped good enough to get the money in on the turn on the flop, then you're going to be probably getting it in there.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, can understand like a diamond that's connected to the board
yeah.
appearing. You might think, oh, okay, maybe this hit him, but
Here's
like
the flop.
10 of clubs. The only hand you got to be worried about is 10-8
Yeah.
for someone that's
Okay, let's do it.
Well,
turned their kicker.
the Greek figured it out and
played it
reaped the
well.
reward. A huge pot. UA Barbar, third place for $1,275. He tried. The float
Yeah.
led to the big play. And whilst we do like people with cojones on here, that perhaps was for another day. Saga's behind on this one. Seemingly no hope of winning this hand.
Raise.
Tries, though.
I call.
So this is the
Gets
river.
snapped by Bertel.
All in.
Yeah. You have this kind of like bemused look on your face as if someone's stolen your lunch. Kind
No,
of
I'm just-
don't understand the lines that are going on
I
here.
don't understand
I
that
I
at all.
thought
Is that okay? Is that a bluff or a value bet?
I think it's one of those. I think I'm ahead, but I'm just going to make sure I don't get bluffed. So, and I don't want to check call all in, so I'm going to move in and just
Okay.
like take that decision away from myself,
Alright.
kind of move.
Weird.
Yeah, it was certainly a little weird.
Hand.
I thought the ace king might actually get away
On the
a
turn.
little earlier in the hand.
Yeah,
I
I
felt
mean,
like,
I
you know
don't think-
what? There's a time when
I
you
don't
can
think they
just
were going to call.
right.
I think they were just making a play, and it obviously
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
work.
I call.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have barreled on the river again, but
Yeah, well, ace king back to
Here's the
back.
flop.
Saga has now hit.
Okay, let's do it.
Bottom pair, little donk lead from Bertel. Question is, do you risk scaring away
I'm
your
raising.
customer?
Let's have the turn.
Whoa.
see,
Wow.
I find a call there, and then either way, we both get
I check.
Yeah.
absolutely BF'd again.
Yeah, Saga 10, who's had the chip lead for
Call.
pretty much all of this
This
final
is the
table, and
river.
at one stage or another, a monster chip lead.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, things are turning around now.
It's a snap call, but
That's half of his stack, and sure, you can't see a
Have your
fold.
pipe and smoke it.
Smoke it. Well, he'll feel a little aggrieved about that one, and that is the end virtually. Surely, 10 big blinds left. And how did he blow this chip lead? Can we point to any hand where where there was a misstep?
I mean, the ace king where he raised the turn was just bad timing. I think. I mean, it wasn't.
It's
the
not
best
bad.
Of choices of-
Well, flush came on the turn.
yeah, it wasn't like the best of choices maybe to rep there against a player that's obviously going to be calling a bunch.
Right.
So maybe you could say that was a little mistake. But apart from that, I
But
think they've-
otherwise, yeah.
yeah, they've been really in line with everything and just played their hands,
Yeah,
played their hands pretty well as
yeah.
well. So
Call.
Well, there is some hope if he can just
see,
get
look,
a
he's
double up
trapping
here.
this guy like, for fun.
And
Okay,
yeah.
all in.
here we go.
Nicely played.
He gets it in.
He
He's
Doesn't get that 200k if he shoves.
yeah.
Might not even get a call here. Yeah, he picks up a nice bit of dead money.
Nice. Both of these players have shown a bit of game throughout this. Bertel's done some fairly kind of wild stuff,
Well,
right?
as
from
soon as we saw he had a 10-3 of clubs in the hole and got to the flop,
yeah, very first hand.
we knew he was a character.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had a bunch of chips coming into the final table, so he
Mhm.
must have been doing some funky,
Yeah, that's right.
some
Three
funky stuff.
well, 3 wins to his name. Just the Monte Carlo, the big one.
New hand.
But Saga with all the experience, hard to make it tell
I think I'll read.
in this kind of short window of opportunity.
I call.
Here's the
He
flop.
defends with the Queen 9 and hits.
I check.
Okay,
Now
let's
you
do it.
see, after the double up,
Right,
Call.
here's the turn.
you know, they'll be almost even now if he can
Okay, let's take a
somehow get his opponent to stack off.
Okay, let's do it.
Wow, 960k.
Wow.
When does it get difficult for Saga, or has he already made his plan?
Like, what's he got here to bet 960k?
Well, would an ace would do that, presumably.
What, pot? More than pot?
Okay.
On that sort of board?
Yeah, but I don't think you can assume that everyone does things the same way.
No, but it just makes
Well
like...
played.
Yeah, there we go. Boom. And now they are dead even. And that did seem like dusting off a few chips unnecessarily there from the Brit.
Yeah, maybe a tad.
Yeah, but then he's got to heads up playing a little wild and a little unorthodox. And that
New hand.
that is something that I always prefer to see, at least from one person. And this is a good matchup. A guy who we're not quite sure the way he's going to go, but certainly he's erring on the side of aggression, relentless aggression. Here we go. He's got an ace. And Saga, you'd think he, with the more experience, he's not likely to match that aggression, but he does.
Yeah, I think he's putting his foot down.
Good luck. Call.
Wow, they get it in, and this is for all the chips here.
Comes the
That's
flop.
pretty much it.
Saga's on the line, and
There you
this that is it.
Oh, Bert, he's done it.
Hey, well done, Bertel. The Brit takes it down. That is $3,188.
Congrats.
Well, a victory for Bertel. The Brit takes home $3,188. You might call him a wild man. Does that, in some respects, give you an edge at the final table if you come in with that kind of game?
It's all about changing gears, I think. I mean, it's all well and good being the nutcase who's just barreling, raising, and barreling. You're going to win so many chips uncontested, but it's a matter of slowing down at some points where you're just going to literally spew off your stack.
Learning to take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And Tsego, he came second. It felt a little like it was his MTT to lose. I don't know whether he will agree with us. He had a big chip lead at one point. No longer, though. Second place is still nice when you look back on it, but it hurts at the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, as I've said before, unless you win the tournament, no matter where you finish or how much money you get, the first instinct is disappointment. But he'll wake up in the morning, a few more dollars in his bankroll, should be satisfied.
Some breakfast. Don't know why that came into my head. Old schoolers will remember that advert. Anyway, thanks for coming here and giving us your insight, Scott. And thanks for joining us, everyone. See you next time.